video while I'm driving home with the pizza. Let's talk a little bit about, so there's an app called Next Door Neighbor, something like that we got roped into using. Kind of tells us what's going on in the neighborhoods, our neighborhood and the neighborhoods around us. And some woman in a neighborhood close to ours, I guess her husband is serving overseas, military, so she's got up on her front lawn a little sign that says, "We support our troops." You know, nothing big, nothing gaudy. It's American flags painted on it. And I guess she's had it up, she says, now for 2 years. And they put up, the HOA sent her a letter and said, you know, you gotta take the sign down. And she jumped onto Next Door Neighbor, to the app, to, you know, kind of sound off. Everyone's jumping in. I was one of them too. I couldn't resist. What I posted was, listen, you were my neighbor. I would go out and find the exact same sign and put 3 or 4 of them in my yard. I think maybe just put one in my yard. But the HOAs, the whole idea kind of makes me, I get why people feel like they need to have it, right? They feel like they need to have somebody, some governing body to help everybody keep the home values up and no one trashes their house. But honestly, a really good neighborhood, you can go over and knock on the neighbor's door and say, hey, you're kind of a mess, can I give you help cleaning it up? Regardless, overstepping the bounds. Like, everyone's on there is like that small sign. Of course, a bunch of veterans, including myself, jumped on. Now, I don't like to wear my veteran thing on my sleeve. I didn't do anything particularly spectacular. There was a lot of guys who were a lot more at risk serving in the military than I was. I just, you know, did what I did for 5 years and left. But anyways, a lot of guys jumping into that thread saying, listen, yeah, this is BS, and the idea that the HOA wants you to take that little sign down is craziest. I don't know what's going to end up happening, but I do feel like it is kind of sad that we get to the point that someone suggested that maybe someone new has moved into the neighborhood and made a complaint. If the sign's been up for 2 years and only now getting noticed, maybe somebody new moved into the neighborhood, made a complaint, or someone new is on the HOA board, or someone from another country may have moved in. I don't know that is the case. I can't imagine anyone who's moved in from another country is going to see that sign and say, oh, I think I want to take it down. The only one that really makes sense to me is somebody new on the HOA board. We'll probably never know, regardless. The idea that you can't put up a sign that says you support the troops, it's nothing political, nothing religious, nothing pushing any kind of message except for, hey, we back our guys who are actively serving overseas, especially when the husband is actually overseas right now doing that kind of work. It's got to be crazy to him. I've had my arguments with the past administrations, the past presidents, for sending our troops to places they didn't really need to go to, wars that were unnecessary, and conflicts that I believe to be unnecessary. Never once did I say it's all the troops' fault. I think when you're serving, you kind of do what you're told to do because you hope that the powers that be are not going to misuse the trust that you give them because you voted them into power. And honestly, let's face it, the last 2, 3, gosh, go back a number of administrations, and misused. I mean, I signed up under H.W. Bush to go into the first Gulf War. And now, because I was young and stupid, didn't really understand much of anything. Now, looking back on it, did we really need to do that? I mean, the babies out of the incubators, that was a lie. The Iraqis we were good friends with Saddam Hussein, like, just up until that point, and he thought that he'd gotten our blessings, and it was just, I mean, here's the point that I think when I heard this explanation of it kind of made me the most angry. Every missile we lob has to be replaced, right? Every time we throw a missile someplace that, $100,000, whatever, I don't even know how much a missile costs, but every time we throw one overseas, the government has to buy another one, right? So the people who were making missiles love the idea that we're just spending them. They're basically they're a one-time use, and then you got to replace them. Take $100,000 and spend it on a school, spend it on a hospital, spend it on a road, spend it on a bridge. That bridge is around for a long period of time. The school's around for a long period of time. So it's not as, that cycle isn't as fast as it is when it's a missile, especially when it's a missile during wartime. So if we think about money and our government expenditures in this way, you kind of realize, oh, that's why we love war so much. That's why I get a military contracting company wanting, letting them make money. I get it. They want to make money. Why do they don't retool to build hospitals? Why they don't retool to build roads? Because those last so much longer than a missile when it's launched and destroyed, and then you make another one. See, the turnover, the velocity of the money is a lot higher for military expenditures. So that's one reason why you would say to these guys, look, you can make money building schools, but do they make as much? They don't, because it's not spent. It's not a recurring spend over and over again. Anyways, what was I going on about? Oh yeah, support the troops. I mean, these guys are working hard. Some of them aren't seeing their kids for 6 months, a year, not really 2 years. That would be crazy. There's a guy not seeing his family for 2 years. Something is really broken. But you'll get 9 months before you can see your family again, and that just blows. So support the troops. Don't fuss over a little sign in someone's front yard. Don't be a jerk about it. Golly, I mean, the reason you've got a house and live in a country like this is in some part because of the fact that we've got a military that kind of protects us. So, anyways, hope this sees y'all well. I don't know if there's any update to this next door neighbor thread. I'll try to shoot out to you guys. Cheers.